Strawberry. When did your illustrious burlesque career begin?
I started in burlesque about 7 years ago. I started out at a night in Melbourne that was run by Red Door Burlesque, which was produced by Highball Burlesque. It was called the Burlesque Quest. So this was in 2007, and I sort of performed on that night, and that's what launched my career. And then I moved to New Zealand and performed there for a year or so, and then came back to Australia and have been performing there ever since. And over the last 2 years I've been pretty much constantly on the road, all around Australia and all around the world.
So can you tell us about your early days in the circus and how it's helped shape the performer you are today?
I started dancing and gymnastics classes when I was 5 years old, and then when I was 10, I auditioned for the Flying Fruit Fly Circus, which is a internationally renowned children's only circus in Australia, and I got in, and so I started touring, performing from the age of 11, and yeah, it's given me so many performance skills, and just experience. Time on stage, that much time on stage just helps you be so comfortable in performing and in any kind of stage art
Shaping
form.
yourself
Yeah.
as a performer.
So, and it's given me a few handy little skills to, crack out at parties and, and whatnot.
Party tricks. Everyone loves party tricks.
Yeah.
So if you could perform one of your shows for the rest of your career, which one would you choose?
I think I would choose my my flower classic act, which is one of the routines that I won Miss Burlesque Australia with. I emerge from a giant flower, Swarovski covered flower that opens and closes and revolves, and the costume is absolutely immaculate, and I have flower petals that drape all down around my body. Yeah, it's probably my favourite. The most hard to transport, but my favourite.
How do you transport it?
Well, I just did a national tour of Australia and took the flower with me. So it packs down somewhat small, but altogether it probably weighs 40 kilos. And I had to hire a trailer to put it in, and then I drove across Australia from Melbourne to Perth and back again.
So what's your take on the stripping versus burlesque argument?
Well, I don't think that there should be an argument as such. It is the same thing. Burlesque is the art of striptease, and stripping is stripping. So essentially, you're both taking off your clothes. The clearly defined argument is that, well, I find the definition really is that burlesque is stripping for women. It's targeted at women. It's something women can aspire to. It's the celebration of the female form. It's getting to live out your most glamorous, bits and pieces. So it's stripping for women, but it is stripping.
Yeah.
But it's, there's a bit more artistic license that is required to go with it. Stripping in clubs is stripping for a male audience. So there's, they don't care what costume you're wearing, or, there's still tease. There's still elements of tease if you strip in a strip club. There are obviously massive differences, but at the end of the day, it is both stripping, just targeted at different audiences.
Yeah. So where in the world is your favourite place to perform?
Australia, definitely, because I've performed everywhere, and I've always, Australian audiences are great. I've always had such an amazing time. The United States has been pretty good to me. Performing at the New Orleans Burlesque Festival was one of my sort of career highlights. Had such an amazing time, and with such an amazing talent. It was just awesome.
Tell us your secret beauty tips.
Just looking after yourself, really. I don't smoke. I try not to drink too much. I try and keep out of the sun. Moisturise, face creams. Just generally, yeah, like looking after yourself. I'm a lot older than I look, and people are always like, oh, you're that age. I'm like, yes, well, I look after myself.
Ooh, there you go. Can you share with us an embarrassing on-stage moment?
Yeah, I have quite a few embarrassing on-stage moments, but this one is not only embarrassing, but quite hilarious. So when I competed for Miss Burlesque for 4 years in a row, and on my second year, at the grand final, I had changed, because we compete in a state final and then a grand final, and I had changed my routine from the state final to the grand final, and the producer had forgotten to upload the new music. So I was doing a tribute to the Redheads Match Girl, and my music was Hot Damn Woman by Danko Jones and Hot in the City by Billy Idol. And so it started off, and then it's halfway through the routine, I light the match, and it's meant to snap into Hot in the City. There was nothing. There was silence. And I stood there with this match, lighting this bit of fire, looking around going, oh shit. And I looked over in the curtains, and the producer's like, I was like, right. So I yelled out to the audience, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry, but my new music hasn't been uploaded into the system. What you're meant to be hearing now is Billy Idol, Hot in the City. And so I got everyone clapping and going, Hot in the City. Lucky my little sister was in the audience and she knew what was meant to be going on. So she's like, Hot in the City! So I had to perform for 2.5 minutes with no music. Margarita break.
What are 3 beauty products that you can't live without?
Well, first off would have to be my Strawberry Siren shade of red Burlesque lipstick, which I'm wearing now. When I won Miss Burlesque, a shade of red Burlesque lipstick was named after me.
Oh, wow.
And I got to pick the shade myself, so I was like, oh, this is the perfect, perfect shade. So I have one to stick in my handbag, one in my makeup case, like, yeah. I never leave the house without it. Secondly would be an eyebrow pencil, because I am a natural redhead, so therefore have blonde eyebrows. So I don't leave the house without making sure I have some definition. And perfume. Perfume.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Rap or rock?
Rock.
Vodka or tequila?
Vodka.
Leather or lace?
Can I have both?
Butt or boobs?
On me, I prefer my boobs, but I'm a butt girl. I love a good bum.
Tell us about your first crush.
I remember my first crush, actually. It was in kindergarten, so I would have been about 4 or 5 years old. And there was this boy in my kindergarten class called Owen. And we used to play Kiss Chasey around the playground, and I used to slow down for him. Like, oh no, you caught me.
That's very adorable.
Yeah.
Aw, well, thank you for talking to us today, Strawberry.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the rest of your time in America, and
I will.
have fun at the Burlesque Hall of Fame.
Yay.